What's up, everyone? I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, so don't take no financial advice from me. Don't base anything I say off these videos. Um, with that being said, I've had kind of some updated brackets in my AMC. Brackets are kind of hard to go by. Obviously, a bracket's more for me, just what I'm right now hoping to see, expecting to see, think it's possible to see. I gotta mix my expectation with a little bit of hope, with a lot of reality. Um, that being said, these things can change. I mean, my bracket could change on a day-to-day basis, really. I mean, I have kind of a core area, but the bracket could definitely change if you monitor the situation and things start going, south, or start going up or down. And, I can't 100% say this bracket would be the same every time. So, AMC, originally I had a $500 to $1,000 bracket, which I still think is kind of my core common bracket, but I'll break it down a little bit. So I'm my brackets right now. I'm going from 1,000 to 1,500 per share. I'm going up a little bit just because we have the time, the delay, the fuckery, how long it's been, and honestly, just because they're pushing it back so hard, that just shows me that there's money, that they're worried, and honestly, like, we've seen squeezes in the last couple of years that have gone up to like $1,400-$1,600 a share for a company that doesn't have nearly as much involved as AMC. So right now, my minimum bracket, probably 1,000. 1,500 would be kind of that mid range. I'd love to see 2 to 3K for my high range. I know a lot of people might talk shit and say it'll never reach that. We can't reach 40. We can't reach 72. Blah blah blah. But I mean, it's kind of I can't understand how people can say shit like that unless they're a shill or they just don't understand this play. So that being said, there is a lot of us in here, 3.8 million, and I will say probably half of you guys will probably paper hand it. Because when this thing goes up and down, once we start hitting those volatile numbers, when it drops $300-$400 per share, if we're sitting at 1,000 and a couple minutes later it's at 600, you're gonna panic and sell. Which I can understand. But for me right now, I think I would definitely withhold the storm until we get to at least 1,000, maybe 950 range, 900, 950 range, but really 1,000 and up. Realistically, this thing, we used to have a 100K floor, and there was a reason behind that. Now, there's so many people in it, I really don't think it could ever realistically get that high, just because the numbers would just, I just don't think it can go that high. I don't have time to sit here. I don't even need a calculator to tell you that will fuck shit up for the economy and everything. And I just don't think the government, anyone, would let it run that high. Now, if there was endless amounts of money and we didn't have to worry about it, I think, yeah, easily it could go to 100K floor. But I just don't see that happening, personally. But yeah, my brackets, 1,000 minimum, 1,500 is kind of my mid range. And if we reach 1,000, I'd definitely just start monitoring it. But like I said, these things can change. I went up in my brackets instead of down. People usually go down in their brackets, but I'm going up in my brackets just for the fact that how hard they're pushing against this. Like, they do not want it to pop, and I know that if it starts going to the hundreds, it's going to get crazy. People are going to jump, and I've just kind of made up my mind. Like, if I can see that there's no way possible we're going to get past 500 or something, then yeah, of course I'm going to figure out how to sell and probably leave a few shares sprinkled in there just for who knows what. But for now, 1,000 my minimum, 1,500 my mid. I'd love to see 2 or 3K. I just don't know if they'd let it run that high, or even if I would have the balls to hang on during that, But I don't know. You can have your own brackets. You can talk shit in the comments, whatever. But that's just where I'm at. My 500 to 1,000 original brackets are still, I still think it's, possible that we hit. I'm going to say this. Once we hit over 70, that original high we ever got to was what, 72, 77? I say once we hit there, we're probably going to see a lot of volatility. But at that point, I've just got my mind made up. There's no reason for me to sell without becoming like literally like a multimillionaire or a billionaire at this point. Like, if not, I'm going to be comfortable. I got money. I'm going to be all right. So this is just my personal thing. You do what you want to do. Like, I'm willing to lose thousands of dollars to risk. It's basically a gamble for me. I'm willing to gamble thousands of dollars to become rich, super rich. I'm not really wanting to gamble a few $1,000s to become like 500,000. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that sounds nice and you could pay a lot of shit, but 500,000 for me personally, properties and shit I have, it just ain't enough. You know what I mean? So, it might sound crazy to you guys, and it might sound crazy if I watch it back and listen to what I'm saying, but I honest to God, my personal opinion, think it could go easily to 1,000, easily, as long as they let it snap one day. So now once it hits 1,000, if it hits something like that, definitely I think it's gonna go up and down within the hundreds within a minute or two. It could drop, and halts. I don't know if the halts are going to do anything at that point. I don't know if I think once this thing goes, once it pops and it squeezes, it molasses like we expect, like I expect. I don't think the halts will be going on. I think it's going to get halted on the way up, on the way up, on the way up. But I think there's going to be a point where they just let it go. Kind of like a wild dog that you're holding on to the chain and it's pulling you, it's hurting your wrist and it's jacking up your hand. Finally, you just let that fucker go, let him run wild until he calms down a little bit, then you can hold him and start taming him down again. So I think there's going to be a day, half a day at some point where it's just going to go wild. This is my opinion. But yeah, 1,000 minimum, 15,000 mid-range, 2 to 3K is my high right now. So shit, I don't care if you like it or not. Those are my brackets. Peace.